Over the past few years, some people would say that Ubisoft have become pretty stagnant, releasing the same game just with a different theme or a different skin. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, Far Cry, they've all kind of just blended together, and quite a lot of people are getting sick of the whole thing, really. But Ubisoft promised 2017 would be different, with some fresh takes on some familiar franchises, as well as some creative new ideas that could really add to their massive library of games. And so far, hey, it looks like the strategy is paying off big time.
Just the other day, Ubisoft released their earnings results for the second quarter of the 2018 fiscal year, and apparently they're doing quite well. According to Ubisoft, they had a stronger than expected sales for the second quarter for two reasons. The first being Assassin's Creed and the second being digital revenue. First off, Ubisoft reported that the newly released Assassin's Creed Origins has been a massive success for them after being on the market for just 2 weeks. Sales of Assassin's Creed Origins are over 100% higher than the previous Assassin's Creed games Syndicate managed to sell in the first 10 days after launch. Ubisoft CEO Guillemot attributes the success of Origins to the longer development time it had, and he said, quote, "Given longer development lead times, our talents can fully express their creative visions and therefore maximize the potential of our games." Which is probably true. They've had a year off from Assassin's Creed because everyone was saying, oh, it's stale, the same old game year on year out. So they took an extra year to develop Assassin's Creed Origins, and it seems like it's paid off. We haven't had any bitching to do on the channel. We've had we had one about it being far too majestic to reach 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. It's just far too majestic, you know what I mean? It's just far too.
So that's not even a problem. I mean, that's everyone else's problem. It's just not majestic enough, right?
But other than that, there was nothing. There's nothing to be bitching about. I mean, what we're going to make content off if the games are good?
So negative, and like, we just don't. I don't know what. We don't like saying anything. Like, we hate games, by the way. So they took twice as long to make this game. A lot of people think it's twice as good as Syndicate, and it's made twice the sales, at least in the first 10 days anyway. I mean, it all seems to fit the ratio, all seems relevant, and I guess maybe they were just scared of having their yearly cash cow stopped, and this is probably going to encourage them to spend a little bit more time on their games now, and they realise, hey, if we wait twice as long, we'll just make twice as much money, and that's great. Everyone's won here.
It does seem like Ubisoft are listening. They're trying to make a change. They're like a reformed alcoholic. They know they've got a problem, but they're trying to change their lives and do something better about it. Like, they're releasing new IPs. They did For Honor. They've got Skull and Bones coming up.
Yeah. Well, this is a reformed alcoholic. Maybe this is why they didn't send us Origins, isn't it?
Well, they're trying at the very least, and I think at least, hopefully, these sales show them that they don't have to keep spitting out the same old game year in, year out. They've even taken away the towers from Far Cry 5, for God's sake. A change is at hand here for Ubisoft, and let's just hope they keep on the wagon, do you know what I mean? They just don't break into that, you know, same old, like, just a bottle a day, and, you know, the rest is history.
I'm so sorry, Guillemot. But it wasn't just Assassin's Creed which made Ubisoft's second quarter so successful. They've also seen huge increases in the digital market. In their earnings report, Ubisoft reported that the digital market had been paying off handsomely for them, with digital revenue increasing by 69% year on year. It's also worth mentioning that Ubisoft reported sales of microtransactions and digital extras like DLC and season passes brought in more revenue than the sales of digital games alone. Ubisoft said player recurring investment, or simply put, buying microtransactions, season passes and DLC, brought in $202 million in revenue, which made up 51% of digital income for the first 2 quarters combined. As for digital game sales, Ubisoft reported that they had increased by 57% compared to the last fiscal year.
50% of sales for South Park The Fractured But Whole were digital, and 35% of Assassin's Creed Origin sales were also digital, up from 15% in the previous installment. Ubisoft also reported that Nintendo Switch has proven to be a very profitable platform for them, with titles like Mario, Rabbids, Kingdom Battle and Just Dance 2017 making up 19% of the total game sales so far. The company also believe the Switch will continue to sell well in the lead up to Christmas, which they believe will promote further growth. Because of these results, Ubisoft CEO Guillemot thinks the company is in a stronger position than they ever have been, and he said, quote, "The success of the releases, notably the 100% sales growth for Assassin's Creed Origins, combined with the solid live operations, demonstrate that Ubisoft is ideally positioned to deliver further growth in future fiscal years." Okay, so this is the more sleazy side of it, if you ask me. This is them monetizing games after they sell them to you. So this is the season passes, microtransactions, DLC, all that shady shit that probably shouldn't be be in the industry, in my opinion, and in our opinion here, largely at PGG. But it makes up 51% of their revenue over the quarter. So if they can sell you a game and then make the same amount again after the fact, then that's what they're going to do. It's a business. So it doesn't seem like these, like the dodgy parts of the industry, are going anywhere anytime soon, since they can make just as much money by selling you additional stuff as just selling you the game outright to begin with.
If we're going to talk about games as a service in the future and the way the future of casual gaming is going, this will be seen as the pivotal point. This is the first time digital extras have made more than the games themselves. It's probably the start of a long-running trend of this games as a service thing we hear a lot about, which also explains a lot of business decisions from Ubisoft here. Like, I remember Assassin's Creed Origins, before the game came out, they made the trailer for all the DLC that's coming out, and they had that post-launch trailer, and you can see this is exactly why, because they know that people just need a little reason to buy it and they'll go straight for it.
And these reports do confirm that digital sales are increasing year on year. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate sold 15% digital copies. 2 years later, Assassin's Creed Origins sells 35% digital copies. So you can see where the trend is happening there. Maybe next year we'll be on 45%, the year after that 55%. If it keeps going at this rate, we can assume that digital's here to stay, I guess. Ubisoft's target for this quarter was something like $190 million or something, and they reached $260 million. And that was up from the previous year's same quarter was $140 million. So almost doubled their profits from the same period the previous year, and they've smashed their target, which was 190, by like 70 million. Those are numbers off the top of my head. It's that ballpark. But anyway, it just goes to show Ubisoft are doing something right. The fans are kind of happy with the games, Assassin's Creed Origins. The investors are obviously happy. Egamo's happy. The only people who aren't happy at this point are Vivendi, who are looking to buy them out. And you know, it can't be good for them, because Egamo and his family are putting up a strong defense to try and stop Vivendi from taking them over. Kind of what do they call it?
Hostile
takeover. So, I mean, everything's going well for them. Let's just see if they can keep this up.
So, 2017, a good year for Ubisoft. Did you buy any games? Let us know down in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. There's another video on the screen right here if you'd like to check that out. There's also a link to our Patreon in the corner there if you want to support the channel. Until then, we'll see you next time.